turn over.
Circuit. As my co-commentators just said, there's going to be a minute of silence for. I'll let you explain this.
Yeah, my dad passed 2 nights ago in my arms, and to pay tribute to him, I would like a minute silence, starting now. Alright, the minute silence is done. Yeah, thank you to everyone doing the minute silence. Really appreciate it. Let's just see how it goes from here in qualifying.
Well, here we are. As the first drivers make their way out onto track, we've got a couple of, unlike some other leagues that you may see me commentate through, this league does encourage it to have its own teams and use its own livery. So this is my first weekend commentating for this league, so please bear with me if I get some drives and the teams that they race for wrong. Obviously we've got the two McLarens, ProKaan and NX Exotic. I'll recognise those guys out as they do sit in their McLarens, I believe. A lot of the other teams have black as their team liveries, as their team colours, so
We do have some teams that Black Falcon this weekend or tonight is actually going to be their last ever race in FSC. So shame to see them go, but they are going to be a power unit supplier.
That's always an interesting dilemma to see how teams buy components from other cars and other companies. Obviously we see that a lot in real life. Hasp being a major subscriber to Ferrari power units and bits and pieces aerodynamic wise, as we've seen for, well, ever since they really came about into Formula 1. But as we get a car round the final corner to start a flying lap, it's Jalle boy out of turn 15 to start the flying lap, making his way up to 205, 6, 7 miles an hour.
Jalle boy is actually racing for Red Bull with Golfstar as his teammate.
Not according to the livery I've got on screen in front of me, but as he makes his way out of turn 3, it's looked like it's been pretty clean so far from Jalle boy. And make the turn 4 as wide as you can. Be careful to pick up the traction and not lose it on the off camber. 28.4 first sector there for Jalle boy.
Luigi is the only Garuda actually racing out on track, as his temp reserve was Noelza last weekend, as he did have a good weekend, but in the pit stops he did lose many positions, which only left him in P7 last weekend, but he isn't here tonight.
As Jalle boy makes his way out of turn 10 up toward turn 11, this is where we really get to see these F122 cars picking up their downforce from both the Venturi effect from these ground effect cars and also those massive front and rear rings. I didn't see what the split was for Jalle boy through the middle sector, but he now makes his way out of turn 13 down toward the last corner, turn 14 brackets 15. Obviously on the official track map, turn 15, the last jink is a legislative corner, but up to line, and it's a 28.9 there for Jalle boy. That's the benchmark for them all to beat.
It's decent. Who have we got coming up to the line? That's all. Oh.
Lou sets a 1:30.6 on medium tyres though, so expect to see him shave about half a second off that time minimum.
The TP of Hennessy is actually Lewis. Lewis is the TP of Hennessy. So for Hennessy, he might do good, considering last race he had a few incidents, but it still came out in about P5, I believe.
Well, some inside knowledge coming there from the commentary box, but ProKaan now out of the final corner as Golfstar sets a 29.3. ProKaan goes purple with a 28.5, so there we are. That benchmark to beat from Jalle boys just been beaten by just under 0.4 of a second by the first.
Could we see those? Could we see those 127s though?
Oh, that would be it. There would be some very fast laps to see some 127s as we get off Westie. Sorry, makes his way up to the line. 28.277.
That's for Athletic Motorsports.
Another 0.3 faster, smashing that lap from ProKaan, and Jalle boys 28.9, which we said was a pretty reasonable lap time. Well, that's just been obliterated. 0.7 of a second now. The gap from P1 through to P3. Milan 0.326.
He is the driver for Pagani, as he's the only driver out on track. It might be ST players may join us later in qualifying, as he did in Australia, but might be unlikely because Milan actually had some good racing in the last session.
But Milan wanting to improve on that 43 flat. Obviously not a representative lap time. We saw him give way to some other faster cars out on track a couple of moments ago, but he's now making his way up toward turn 11, turn 12. Really straight line it as much as you dare, then open up the apex. Beautifully taken there by Milan, and it's a purple middle sector. It's a 107.2 split time. So now out of turn 13, Luigi, the only car yet to come out onto the track, as Exotic bailed on his first flying run. He makes his way out on track for a second, but Milan out of the final corner now, opens up the DRS and up to the line.
It's not
29.3 puts him into P4. He's only what 11 thousandths of a second in front of Golfstar there.
That's not like a big gap considering.
That is absolutely nothing considering these cars will
NXS out for his first outing of the session.
Second, he went out for a first run but bailed, getting track extension.
He's Luigi. I think
out.
his first outing, or maybe second, I don't know.
No, it is indeed Luigi's first outing with just over 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes 20 seconds left on the clock, and Luigi makes his way out onto track as Exotic and Luigi, kind of the two outliers here. Everyone else has done 1 or 2 laps and has done their first flying set, as Jalle boy now makes his way back out onto track to start his second flying run.
Something I've noticed with 2 cars on track is Luigi's car, and I think who else's car? I can't remember who it was. I think it's Lewis' car. They both look like a Lotus Alpine car I made in my team career, which looks really nice. Possibly could become a team later in season 6. You don't know.
Ooh.
We never know. Anything.
But one thing I'm watching is the late 2022 season McLaren make its way out of turn 3, driven by Exotic, up toward turn 4 now. Open up the corner. That's very nice. That's a very nice entry line there for NXS as he goes through turn 4.
I do like his racing gloves, by the way. I've just paid attention to his racing gloves. They look kind of clean.
Oh, they do. I see where you're coming from there. Exotic bailing out of this flying run in the middle of the downhill slalom section at the start of turn 2. So we cut down to Luigi as he makes his way out the final corner to start his first flying lap.
And a very nice purple and black car.
It is indeed a very nice car.
With a
reminds me of the 2017 AlphaTauri a little, Toro Rosso as it was back then. That kind of purple on black. But I think you were about to mention the bronze gold flashes down the side, and they do look very clean.
Accent.
Luigi though,
I think that's a McLaren orange. I think that's a McLaren orange for the accent on that Garuda.
Ooh, that might be. As Luigi does a 28.7 first sector, now down toward turn 8.
Obviously, Luigi came second in Australia, by the way. I think he's in first. Let me just take a look at the standings.
So the face won out last time, but anyway, Luigi navigates the very difficult turn 9-10 hairpin, and now makes his way down toward turn 11.
It's with face who won last race. Only 2 points behind was off Westie in the athletic motorsports car.
Ah.
And Sir with face was a reserve. So as it stands, it may be Luigi who could take the standings, as Sir with face is not with us.
But Luigi out of turn 13 was a reasonable second sector split, and now into the last proper corner. I still don't regard turn 15 as a corner, but anyway, up to the line, opens up the DRS. This looks like a reasonable lap from Luigi, 29.4, only P6, but only half a tenth off behind P4 of that P4 time from Milan.
That's another fastest sector one from off Westie.
As I ride on board with Exotic, he goes again for another flying run. It looks like he might run very tight on fuel here for Exotic in the McLaren. Making his way out of turn 11. Flick it through turn 12. 6th gear, absolutely flat if you dare. So 102.7 middle sector. Exotic is not happy in this McLaren here. He's not looking like there's much to improve on from his 139.8.
He may ask for a team change after. We might have some questions asked.
As he bails into the pit lane again, Exotic not happy in that McLaren, not happy with the setup or something.
It's not Exotic that's actually meant to be in the McLaren, it's Sleevey and ProKaan, as ProKaan is his actual car. It's NXS, who might have been a transfer because the lineup might have not swapped Sleevey, because we haven't seen Sleevey once this season.
As Westie extends his advantage now, 127.9. Just while we were going on about the dilemma in the McLarens, Lou puts in a 29.5. So it kind of looks like that's where the fight is. Putting yourself into that mid-29 band is going to get you in that midfield pack. As Lou does a little bit of grass cutting on exit of turn 2. Luigi comes into the pits after his first run.
Jalle boy on an outlap.
Milan's on a lap of his own here. He might have picked up a little bit of slipstream there from Jalle boy, but anyway, Milan 28.7 first sector, 10th up on his previous best, so no improvement to speak of so far.
That's why he went wide.
Through turn 8 he goes.
Yeah.
It looks like right on the ragged edge as I struggle to get my teeth out. Anyway, through turn 9 and turn 10. Looks like that was nicely kept under control by Milan as he now makes his way down the back straight, past the drag strip, and now up toward turn 11.
Milan gained actually a few positions in Australia. He had a battle with Sir with Face, and I think it was ST not, I believe.
Well,
yeah,
still,
it was.
Still no improvement coming here from Milan. It's 4 tenths up on his previous best. So
it might be a good lap.
It would have to be one hell of a final sector to get an improvement out of this.
Oh, he's pitting.
He bails on that. Plus 3 tenths, and I don't blame him. As
it's Jalle boy.
Jalle boy starts a flying lap now. To improve on his 28,
that's his.
Improve on his 128.9. He's got to find 4 tenths just to put himself onto the front row and get ahead of ProKaan.
ST Not is on the outlap. Same with the McLaren of Exotic, who I think is coming in.
As we get a late joiner here to the...
That's him. He's the, as I predicted, he did the same as he did at Australia.
As Jalle boy actually matches his first sector split to the thousandth of a second.
That's mad.
It came up plus/minus 0.000. So Jalle boy,
this is actually
consistency,
his first,
the word of the day here.
This is his first session of season 5.
Well, if
he didn't join us for anything in the last race.
Well, it'll be a very respectable first qualifying session for him if he's able to slot his car into P3. But with just over 3 minutes to go, Jalle boy does indeed bail on this lap, and you get the sense that some drivers are going to start itching to get themselves back out onto track for a final flying lap.
He could get out in time. He could at least put one fast lap in, as he is.
3 minutes on the clock. I'm expecting the last of these drivers who want to make a second run of it come out now.
No, he is the number 1 driver, number 15. ST plays for Pagani.
Well, Westie
retires.
retires from the session. He thinks that no one's going to touch that 29 flat. That 27.9, sorry.
Oh, man's
Exotic is up
underestimated.
0.2 of a second in down 0.2 of a second in the first sector as he makes his way through turn 9 and turn 10.
I didn't notice he got into the 127s. I didn't notice that actually. I thought he got a 128.1. But
he improved it a few minutes ago,
he
but
must have improved.
Exotic through the end of the middle sector he comes. Can he finally get a string of lap together? 107.1 in the middle sector. All of a sudden, that's a purple middle sector there from Exotic. Whatever he's done in that McLaren since the last one and this one, he's happy with it now as he comes flying
Must
down
have changed his setup.
from turn
Must
13.
have changed that setup just a tad.
You can't do much under Parc Fermé rules. Front wing and
that
a bit of tyre pressure,
pink,
and that's about it. But he makes his way up to the line.
That's
29
P4.
flat. That's provisional P4 with most drivers now on track to do their final flying
It's the
run.
last 4 drivers on an outlap.
It's all ProKaan's just started a flying lap. Jalle is on a flying lap and he's 0.03 of a second up on his previous best as he makes his way out of turn 13 now. He's going to be the first one to complete his final flying lap here as he makes his way through turn 14 now.
It's the 2 Paganis. It's up to the 2 Paganis. I think they are. I think it's just the McLaren's full teammates are in the. It's ProKaan and NXS and Milan and ST Plays who are actually the full sitting team cars at the moment. Like, we've got off cars kind of in a way. We've got like not full team cars in a race. I'm trying to say it right. I'm trying to word it right. Like, the drivers who are supposed to be in are not in.
I think it's what you're trying to say. As Jalle bailed on his previous
fastest set to 1.
Previous flying lap, 28.8 middle sector there for ST Plays. ST Nokri, we failed to mention, has just put in a 29.1. Provisional P5 for the moment there for ST Nokri.
We validate!
As we've got ProKaan getting a little bit of slipstream there from Exotic, his McLaren teammate, as he makes his way up to the line now. ProKaan for a 0.2 improvement. That puts him 28.3, but still 0.4 off Westie, and no time to go again, no fuel to go again. So ProKaan there finishing his qualifying session with a provisional PES P2.
Most of the drivers have still got 1 lap.
As I now try and cycle through to find out who that is making his way through turn 14. It's ST Plays who has been invalidated. So ST Plays, he's going to start P10. That's his session done.
That did happen last session, I think. He did start in last.
As Lou is on a flying lap and he's making his way down out of turn 13 toward turn 14 and turn 15. Make the exit as wide as you can. Oh, slightly dodgy there on exit, but he opens up the line.
It's going to be
29.4. It's a 10th improvement, and it's but not enough to get him ahead of Luigi, who's making his way through turn 14 and 15 now, as Milan finishes his lap for no improvement. Actually, no, he just got ahead of Exotic there. Luigi goes P6 with the 29 flat. Who's coming up?
Look how close that time is between Exotic and him.
Golf Star up to the line now. 29.041, 0.02 of a second faster than Luigi. There's absolutely nothing in it. Nokri is on a slow lap. He's got nothing to improve on.
I believe we still got ProKaan. Oh no.
Exotic's on a bailed lap, as is ProKaan. So there we are, folks. That is the grid for...
Wait. Oh.
He was 0.7 up in the middle sector. But there we are, folks. So there's your grid for the race. Westie will start on pole, leading ProKaan in the McLaren. Jalle P3, Milan P4, Exotic in the second McLaren P5, Golfstar lines up P6, Luigi P7, ST Nokri 8th, Lou P9, and ST Plays rounds out the grid in P10. So plenty of exciting action still to come here for Bahrain, but that's qualifying rounding down right now.
Yes, we got Exotic, the final McLaren running. Well, sorry, the last car running, coming into the pits, finishing his qualifying session.
Let's have a look to see what ST Plays' sector times were looking like.
Oh, let's have a look quick. Have we had any incidents? We have.
28.8 first, 38.6 middle, 22.2 final. That was a 29.7 from ST Plays. So that would have only put him 10th. That wouldn't have actually taken him up a position despite being invalidated. So it's quite nicely parked, as is Golf Star, and we get ready to go now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go in Bahrain. Looks like Westie got a good start there, but it's a better start there from Jalle, and it's 3 wide already as we get to the end of the pit lane. Jalle and Khan going side by side into turn 1. I've got a horrible camera angle on stream. Khan gets ahead, and that looks like Exotic's gone round. He's got loose there, but he gets away with it. He's down to P9. Meanwhile, on the run up towards turn P4, it looks like Khan keeps ahead of Westie, who's fighting Jalle up the inside through turn 4. Those mediums working well off the start there, but Westie, it's side by side into the slalom section, and there's a little bit of contact, and round goes Jalle. That's Jalle out of contention for the moment. Milan's now up to P3. Lou's made a great start from P9 up to P4. Golfstar in 5, Nokri 6th, Luigi Sven staying exactly where he started, P7. Jalle down to 8th, Plays in 9th, Exotics in 10th. He's had another issue there, but Khan's up into 1st, and he's making good headway here. 1.4
That's
seconds.
his first. This is his actual first appearance of season 5.
Well, he'll be happy with this so far, as the gap is just over 1.2 seconds at the end of the middle sector. And now he's just got to focus on building the gap out to that hard-running Westie and make sure that he can't get within the 1 second.
That's a big gap between Luigi and ST Not.
Indeed it is. 3.5 seconds. I reckon that was Luigi having to take some avoiding action to avoid the spun out Jalle rejoining on that slalom section. But the gap at the end of the first lap is just under 1.4 seconds. So ProKaan building a little bit of air off the back of that DKX Chrome McLaren to Westie, who's got a 1 second gap back to Milan P3, Lou P4, Golfstar run around P5, Nokri's in P6, and then there's that 3.5 second gap from Nokri to Luigi P6.
We've got now
P7.
Apex Racing cars. So there was one Apex Racing, Chloro, actually kept spinning out last session, also got lapped, held up someone last session. If he was here, he would probably hold up a few people. It was a very nice looking chrome red and gold car though. Gave me Iron Man vibes.
Well, hopefully we don't see any of that again, as Exotic makes his way into the pits, maybe replacing a little bit of damage. He's now onto a set of hards, so we have a McLaren in first and a McLaren in last.
Got a Red Bull of Jalle actually closing down Luigi.
Indeed he is. I think Jalle annoyed with Westie for that spin caused in the middle of sector 2 lap 1, and he's now trying to get a little bit of recovery drive, but running that wide through turn 13 won't help him, as he loses a little bit of momentum down the straight toward turn 14.
DRS getting enabled.
ProKaan goes purple with 32.7. DRS enabled now this lap, and he's got 1.4 seconds back to Westie. He's got 1.4 back to Milan. He's got just about a second to Lou. 7/10 then the gap from Lou to Golfstar P4 to P5.
Not a good start at all for Exotic's second race.
On a set of hards now. He's probably got another set of mediums to use later in the race, so
maybe. Oh, hello.
He could get away with it unless he goes to the end on hards, which would be
coming up on Luigi.
which would be a play. Jarle on the back of Luigi, down the hill, the
he
slalom
pits
section.
Again.
Exotic doing that lap on the hards. He can now go medium to the end of the race if he wants to, but no, it is another front nose change. It's a new set of hards for Exotic.
It was
So
minor
that's
damage,
his
though,
race.
to be fair. He could have
Ruined.
stayed. He could have stayed with that minor damage. Like, it must have been at least a really tiny bit of damage. He could have stayed with it.
But now back at the front of the field, Westie's decided to not let ProKaan get away now, and that gap's down to just a couple of tenths, and Lou's already picked up 3 seconds of penalties for extending track limits. That's not what you want to do this early in the races. That's now going to sit over his head now to the checkered flag. Westie just outside of DRS as we make our way down the main straight to end lap 3, sorry. Westie goes purple now with a 32.6. Milan's P3, but he's got Lou on the back of him now. Lou, with that 3-second penalty, trying to make a headway here.
He could have. I'm not going to say he should, but he could have got a 5-second time penalty and actually served it.
It's a 3-second time penalty though for it's not. It's a extending track limit, so it is.
Jarle got the overtake on Luigi.
Indeed he has. Luigi's made a half look back up the inside into turn 4, nothing doing on this occasion. So Jarle now up into P7, that's gap from P6 to P7, still about 7/10 of a second. Players has been there the entire time running around off the back of Jarle and Luigi.
I think he's just waiting for the right time to pounce.
I think he does. I think he hopes though that Jarle can kind of claw back up to Notcree and drag Luigi and SD players with him, but at the front of the field, the gap ProKaan to Westie is still comfortably over a second, 1.1.
Those hards making Luigi look like his Garuda look like it's not actually suitable for him.
That'll be interesting to see how the different drivers then cope with the hard tyre stints later in the race. But at the front of the field, through turn 14-15, this time Westie is within DRS range. ProKaan's going on the defensive, using up his ERS before really he needs to. Both drives have about 30%, but Westie now, DRS open up towards turn 1. He's way too far back to make a move of it, or to even have a look, and he gets loose on the exit of turn 1. That's not what you want to do, and there goes the gap, as that's going to hinder him now all the way up to turn 4.
SD plays actually overtakes Luigi and nearly got the overtake on Jarle.
As watching that fight now through turn 3 up toward turn 4, Jarle leads SD plays. Luigi just hanging on to the back of them here. Those hards not quite firing up for Luigi. Maybe he is going long and going for that hard to soft strategy, but Luigi not looking like he's got the pace of the rest of the field at the moment.
Yeah, but when you're screwed up, when you've really messed up, because when last weekend when Luigi actually went on the mediums, he gained so many positions, it was unreal.
Well, that is the joys of running the alternate strategy, is that it is the alternate strategy. You will make up positions later in the race, but at the front of the field, ProKaan using the regular strategies. Exotic whips out the purple lap there, 32.575. A couple of hundredths faster than those ahead, but that's some real pace from Exotic that we haven't really seen from him so far in the weekend. And hopefully something that ProKaan will be looking at his McLaren teammate and going, ooh, that's one to watch out for right at the end of the race. But ProKaan sets a new purple lap, 32.491.
Like they're getting the quickest laps.
Indeed they are. ProKaan now, the gap back to Westie, just 1.4 seconds, so it's come up a little bit.
SD plays on Jarle, trying to go for the overtake. Jarle going defensive.
Up
is
the
he
inside
down the inside?
Is
he going to go for a switch
play, and there goes the switcheroo from Jarle. It's attempted, but it's not quite worked on this occasion. And now on the run out of turn 3, who's got the better traction? Who's got the better line? It's SD Plays that's got it, because of the advantage of DRS being behind on the braking zone, and now plays up into P7.
The thing is, when you actually get DRS on that straight, if you didn't know this, the person who actually was ahead in the DRS range.
And Jarle loose, and round he goes. He's going into the gravel. Sorry to cut you off there. He's into the wall on the entry to P8 onto turn 8. Jarle retires from the session. He's had enough. He thinks He's not going to get
Oh,
anything
no,
from the
he's
day,
gone.
and away he goes. He's not happy with himself there as Jalle boy. Took
His
too much
first
speed through
session,
turn 7 and into
his
the
first
barrier he
race
goes.
with Red Bull. His first race with Red Bull. First session, first weekend. And that's a retirement for him.
Thankfully though, no virtual safety car or safety car, so ProKaan and the rest of them able to carry on at full racing speed. What this does mean is that the McLarens are now 1st and 9th, so a couple of extra points there in the constructors tally. ProKaan happily driving around here with Westie 1.6 behind him now. ProKaan making those mediums work for him here.
Golf Star coming up on the Hennessy team principle.
Goes for a half move
Lewis.
up the inside into 1. Nothing doing on this occasion. Lou still close enough though to pick the DRS off the back of Milan.
Golf Star is actually Jalle boy's teammate, so let's see how well he can do.
Well, Golf Star just sitting behind Lou here for the moment, and I think Westie's made another mistake here, as that gap's just gone up to 2.1 seconds. So in a sector, ProKaan just found half a second on Westie, and that looks like the McLaren Khan is very happy to just go around in first there and just keep
DRS.
that distance.
Lewis has the DRS. So does Golf Star. ST not unfortunately out of the range. He has not got that DRS. That was a bad joke.
I'm going to quickly move on as Golf Star now just half a second off the back of Lou. He's really trying to force a way through past the Hennessy here. Lou though still clinging on to the back of Milan. He wants that podium position, paying position, but the gap at 3.7 seconds, so it's really got to be a great turn of speed if these drivers want to get involved with the fight for the win.
Oh, hello, Golf Star.
ProKaan extends the gap out slightly more with a new purple lap. Golf Star is very close to the back of Lou.
Is he going to get the overtake? He's going to go brave.
Goes up the inside,
no,
it's too far back. It's just a half move in the 28 car.
Hello, what's happening here? We might have
goes
an overtake
slightly
on,
deep into turn 1. I think that might be slightly unlikely, as it looks like the Hennessy of Lou is very well positioned and very comfortable just to sit behind Milan for the moment and let Milan create that barrier in the air for Lou to pick up a slipstream and the DRS and fend off
Westie,
any...
even though he's not getting the DRS or anything, he doesn't have much ERS. He's actually keeping up with Khan.
Well, they both have a similar amount of ERS, so these two very evenly matched here in the first 8 laps, pace-wise. Looks like Khan's just got the slight advantage, a tenth every now and then, just keeping that gap at 2 seconds or more now, as he makes his way around. Exotic, it has to be said, is taking some time out of Luigi, but at 57 seconds back, it's really just an expedition race for the second McLaren.
It has to be a miracle for Exotic to at least get up to P5. It has to be a miracle.
As Westie's made a great middle sector there, that gap's down to 1.8 for the lead. But Lou's still only just over half second back off Milan. It's the closest we've seen him for a little while
adapting.
here.
He's adapting to that car. He is Athletic Motorsports with not as his teammate.
As we get a little bit of weaving there, who's that? That's not an SD player going weaving down the main straight.
Ooh.
You've only get your one defensive move, so now Not's got to stay exactly where he is. The two SD boys going side by side. Play goes for the switchback up to turn 2, through turn 3 now. It's going to be side by side. Plays has got a good run here.
He's trying to get
There's the one defensive move from
He's got to look for it.
He's going round the outside into turn 4. It's going to be better traction, and it's clean around the outside. Plays gets much better traction and gets ahead through turn 4. He's ahead into the slalom section, and that's a great move complete there by Plays. But the gap from P5 down to P6 is now 4.5 seconds or thereabouts. So a lot of work to do if he wants to make that up.
Pagani is actually looking confident. As ST Not could have another opportunity here. Is he going to do it? No, he isn't.
I'm beginning to think that these medium tyres are beginning to go off here. I reckon the hard tyres are just coming back into their own. That gap from ProKaan to Westie, the first to second. That's come down 4 tenths in 2 laps, so maybe that's one to watch out for. And Luigi's getting more involved in the fight with the 2 ST boys, so these hards coming back to Luigi and ProKaan here. As on the main straight again, Lou 7 tenths back. I think Milan's getting great exits every single time out of turn 14-15, and that's just staving off any chance that Lou has to make an overtake.
Lewis,
it gives
with
Lou
late braking, actually keeps up.
Perfect defence from Golfstar.
Yeah, but Lewis and no, it's actually Lewis who is actually slowing himself down by looking for their moves on the inside. That's giving Golfstar the DRS.
No, I think Golfstar. Oh, and round goes Lewis. It doesn't. Oh, and I think that was Golfstar spinning in sympathy. No, it wasn't. It was just a little bit of desync on our screen. But now Lou dropped down from P4 to P8. And Golfstar now gets to inherit the chance to go for third.
I'll be back in a few, you do the commentate.
That's absolutely fine by me. So now ProKaan, the gap from first to second, just about 2 seconds on lap 10. Just under that, as it looks like Westie gets much better speed through the end of the middle sector. I reckon Westie's tyres are just coming back to him a little bit here. Those hards playing out nicely now as the gap begins to shrink from ProKaan to Westie. Milan now has to hold off Golfstar. Golfstar's been looking aggressive all over the back of Lou for quite a long time. He kept looking up, making half moves up the inside, which slows you down a little bit, but just lets the driver know you're there. And then the mistake was eventually drawn as Lou went from P4 to P8, and Golfstar just getting in the head there of the Hennessy team principal. But now he has to go and do the same thing to Milan as Lou makes a pit stop.
That's not even going to give Exotic a chance. Mediums. Is he going to do a medium soft?
Well, from here that seems to be the best strategy. You've got to remember, you're going to have to find 20 odd 25 seconds almost to bring yourself into play with a strategy like that. Everyone else has got to make a pit stop, yes, but you've got to make an extra pit stop. So Lou really on the back foot now, limiting his options more so than just that 3-second time penalty. So Lou on the back foot here,
actually gaining time using that ERS. The DRS not showing it's actually strong enough.
Meanwhile, at the front, ProKaan still holding Westie at about 1.7 seconds. Khan just happy to absorb the pressure, take a little bit more ERS saving, and just give himself a little bit more of extra defence should it come
McLaren to that. Making itself, showing the crowd that it's all powerful.
Indeed it is. So we'll get a pit stop. Who's that? That's ST Plays diving into the pits. That's quite an early pit stop, only at the end of lap 11, lap 12. Maybe Plays going quite hard on his tyres here. As now Luigi gets into the DRS range of
that is a medium to hard strategy.
Medium to hard, but if he's already taken the life out of those mediums inside 10, 11 laps, Plays is on the back foot now to try and get to the end of the race, because he looks like quite aggressive on those tyres. So his hards could be screaming for help come the end of the race. It's going to be quite close between Plays and Lou as they make their way down the main straight. Lou slightly further behind, but on warmer, softer tyres. So you get the sense that this should be a fairly easy overtake for Lou in just a couple of moments.
He didn't get the DRS though.
As someone who did get the DRS is Luigi, and he's all over the back of Nocri, and those hard tyres.
Well, hello.
Working very nicely for Luigi. His tyre conservation at the start is going to give him an overtake here up the inside into turn 11. That's a very nice move. Don't give him a chance for a spin out as we get a yellow flag in sector 2, and that's ST Plays into the barrier. He's got no front wing. Just after making the pit stop, that might have been a little bit of contact there with Lou. It's a very weird place to have a crash on the exit of turn 6. So Plays limping back to the pit lane now.
He probably got too much curve.
Not out there, you don't. That's a... Blaze leaves the session.
Oh no!
It's that's a horrible place to have a crash because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
That could be connection issues, though. Due to him leaving, it could be connection issues. This did happen before with some of our other drivers.
Indeed, it could be connection issues, but you can't say it's not coincidental, the fact that he's just crashed and is now left the session. But ProKaan still lapping around as Nokri bails into the pits after getting overtaken by Luigi. He's coming to the pits for his set of hards. Now to go to the end of the race. Lou's going to be close here on pit exit. This is going to be, well, it's not even going to be close. Lou's going to go round the outside, and on new medium tyres, he should just be able to drive away.
Gets to the RS.
Very nicely done there from Lou, and he's up now into P6 on what we presume is a medium soft strategy. And Nokri tries to warm those hard tyres up and get himself back into the fight. Plays his AI, goes into the pits for a new front wing and a set of softs. That's his race done.
I mean, if you want to go for a set of softs, you have to do it near the end of the race, mate.
That's the advice I'd given. But the front of the field, though, Westie, that gap's down to just 1.1 seconds now. Westie's looking interested here. Khan realises that Westie's looking interested, and he's dived into the pits.
That's giving Westie an opportunity.
Westie now's going to have to use his old hard tyres to get ahead.
It's like the medium.
Oh
like
no,
the medium
Milan gets a 5-second time penalty there for speeding in the pit lane.
Luigi.
That's going to hamper his progress. So now Westie and Luigi are two hard-running drivers up into first and second, forcing an overcut. How many laps? I reckon 2-3 laps minimum before these boys will want to make absolute use of those medium tyres, and we've seen it already. Lou going round the outside of Nokri, that new medium tyres compared to the old hard tyres, well, there's just no comparison, no competition, and it's a free move when you get there.
These McLarens are actually looking nice, as it's Exotic who gets the fastest sector 2.
That's a little bit of something to watch out for, as he's now on 10 lap old hards. Not really sure what his strategy is. He's made those two early pit stops. He's got 1 lap old hards he could go back onto, or maybe another set of mediums as well. But ProKaan now is trying to prevent any undercut happening from Westie and Luigi ahead, as Westie makes his way toward turn 14-15. Is this going to be counter pit stop on this lap? No, it's not. Westie goes round again for lap 15. What will Luigi do? Is
Luigi gets a bit too much curb and actually goes a bit off the runoff area, so that actually gives ST0 some time to catch.
You're right there, that gap's just come down by 0.4 of a second. Luigi goes round again as well. I'm imagining that these hard tyres are coming to the end of their life about now, and you can see that as Luigi's just taken as ProKaan takes half a second out of Luigi on his outlap alone. So ProKaan putting the bit between his teeth, trying to build a gap up from a gap so that when Westie makes his pit stop, he can cover off the
Zorro
overcut.
Racing League is actually in the chat. Zorro Racing League actually said, "Geez, man, deepest condolences from all the team at ZRL. Can't imagine how horrible that must feel."
I presume that is
yeah, it's from what I said in the beginning of the qualifying.
Those of you who aren't aware, there was a minute's silence for the loss of my co-commentator's father. Very sad times and deep sympathies, and I say deep sympathies, and around goes ProKaan, and that puts my deep sympathies with him for any chances of winning this race, as that now puts him on the very much of the back foot. ProKaan now just losing 5 seconds in that half
ST plays his back. He's reconnected, and he is reconnected.
He goes for a quick lap on the softs. ProKaan now with a lot of work to do, as Westie's gone round it for another lap. Let's look at what Luigi does. Luigi's going round for another lap as well, so the hard tyre is working quite nicely here, going slightly longer than anticipated. Lou picks up another 3-second time penalty. I make that 6 seconds worth. He's going to have to pay off at the end of the race.
Or if he pits one last time, which possibly could happen. If he does, as we remember saying that Lewis is doing a medium soft.
That's what we reckon he's doing, but who knows, maybe he will take that set of mediums to the end. But he comes into the pits again, another 5 seconds of penalties, and there he goes. He's called his race a day.
He knows he's not going to do it.
About 11 seconds worth of penalties, and in such a small field,
that
can drop you well out of any chance of getting decent points. ProKaan though, still trying to recover from that half spin a lap ago, as he'd have been kicking himself for his just sheer excitedness. Those hard tyres just not giving him the traction needed on the exit of turn 10 and just looping it round.
Oh wow, that is a quick lap.
31 flat, that's not far off some of the qualifying times that these drivers were putting in.
Considering the track surface for the race is actually slower than it is in qualifying.
Indeed it is, as I believe that Westie's gone round again. Westie's pulling those hards out for quite a long time. Luigi's going round again, so both of these drivers gone 16 laps on hards. How much longer are they going to go? How long do you want to take a set of softs? I'd say if you're going for hard to soft, you're looking to pit about lap 21. End of lap 21 would be the magic number to pit onto a set of softs. Around about now if you're going for a set of mediums, as ProKaan still trying to make progress into the deficit of that half spin. The gap from him to Westie is 26 seconds, and you've got to say that's going to be too much. I think Westie's going to be able to box reasonably soon and come out comfortably ahead of ProKaan on faster tyres and just drive away from him.
Golfstar catching up to Milan.
After Lou span out earlier in the race, releasing Golfstar to the back of Milan. Golfstar now getting very close in personal to the back of Milan, looking for that provisional P3. Obviously Luigi has to make a pit stop, and that would drop him roughly to where Nokri is, as that was where he was racing earlier, so that's kind of where we expect him to come out. As here comes Westie into the pit, so he's not gone for hard to soft, he's going hard to medium.
He's going to have an opportunity to get Luigi.
20 seconds is the gap, as I reckon Luigi's made a mistake somewhere on this lap. Luigi must have looped it exit of turn 13 as there were some yellows there, so now ProKaan onto the back of Luigi. Luigi's gone for another lap here.
And it's Milan and Golfstar who could actually catch up to these two.
Both of these drivers, Westie comes out ahead of both of them. Westie is surely now going to go and win the race. He just needs to control his pace, not get overly excited, and just, yeah, there you go, warm your tyres up.
Just from 20 seconds down to 1.5.
Well, that
just shows.
That's a pit stop there. That's how long the pit stop is, 23 seconds. So that's the pit stop differential that Luigi's going to have to make.
We got a three-way battle.
Gets quite close to the back of Milan there.
Westie, Luigi and Khan. We've got three cars battling for that pole.
I don't think it will take too long for Westie to dominate that one.
It could be
new medium tyres that he just needs a couple of moments to get up to temperature, and he'll drive away from Luigi. Luigi desperately now on the back foot. That spin
as
a
it's
lap ago.
Golfstar on the exit of the sharp hairpin left is actually a bit slow out of the exit corner, so that's giving Milan the upper hand on speed.
Well, Milan
also,
was
if you haven't noticed, Golfstar actually is holding his brake button ever so slightly on the straights, if you look closely.
I imagine that's just a little bit of dead zone. Luigi going for another lap here. Luigi going for a hyper alternate strategy. I was going to say that in the first stint, Milan was always getting better exits than Lou. It's why Lou was never being able to get anywhere close to the back of him, and just having to fend off from Golfstar in that earlier battle for third.
Wow, here comes Golfstar.
Lou retires.
Really good, whoa, contact! That's Milan.
And Milan's gone round. Golfstar,
from behind.
you imagine, is going to potentially get a little bit of penalty. Milan keeps spinning around. If I were you, I'd take a recording of whatever you just saw, screen recorder, and that could be quite important for an FIA's decision if
I couldn't get it in time. I couldn't get it quick enough. I was like...
It's not been 30 seconds since the crash. You could have done.
Shit, I'm doing it now, quick, hold.
You'd have missed it by now, I imagine. But anyway, I said that Westie was going to dominate the short-term battle for first. Indeed, he has. As that gap's up to 1.6. Those new mediums lighting up lovely for him, and away he goes into the Bahrainian night sky, in the desert here. Luigi now just keeping ProKaan behind. Luigi's got to make a pit stop here. Probably going to come out right next to Nokri in a battle for P6 on newer medium tyres, if that's what he goes on to. But
or maybe you could do a soft. You could put the soft.
Not right now. He couldn't. He'd leave himself too long on a set of softs. But he comes into the pits now. 19 laps on his set of hards.
That's Gold Star.
What's he going to go on to?
The Red Bull. Actually, that's actually Milan. He might stay with on the exit.
Nah, Milan's gonna get him here as Luigi trundles his way out on a new set of medium tyres.
It's gonna be not. He's gonna stay close to.
Luigi, he's gonna come out. He's gonna split Milan and not his. So that's worked out quite nicely there for Luigi. About 11 seconds off the back of Golf Stars. No. Plays picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. He's going to have to make another pit stop. There's no way he's getting those tyres to the end to catch Exotic. But Luigi now about 11 seconds off the back of Golf Star in the hunt for a podium. Westie now 4 seconds ahead of ProKaan. That fight's done and dusted. You imagine Westie will just be able to control his pace now and drive off into the Arabian Night. Golf Star's going to probably have a little bit of fighting to do if Luigi can get his tyres up to temperature and get clear in Milan quickly. But Nokri's sensing a small opportunity here. Just while Luigi gets his tyres up to temperature, the gap's at half a second. Can Nokri keep latched to the back of Luigi, claw his way up to the back of Milan and make an overtake for P5? Let's just wait and see.
There's not much really going on except for the three or two car battle actually between Not and Luigi.
Well, there's a couple of different strategy battles to play out. There's obviously the small three-way duel between Milan, Luigi, and Nokri is the closest on-track battle, but Plays is going to have to make another pit stop. That's going to drop him behind Exotic, so that's going to be quite an interesting one to see how that plays out, as Exotic's on a new set of mediums now to go to the end of the race. Luigi, his immediate battle is with Milan and Nokri, but his strategy battle is going to want to take him to the back of Golf Star for P3 if he can get clear by about the end of next lap. That's probably the deadline that Luigi's sitting in his cockpit giving himself of 2 laps, get by Milan,
and it is
and then
ST Place pits.
Chase down. Plays does make that pit stop.
The used mediums.
Ooh, 11 lap used mediums. No.
That you can actually see the wear on the tyres.
End.
Look, you can actually see the wear on the tyres.
I'm very much glad I am not him on that set of used mediums, as Milan now has half a second to get back to Luigi, and
the dryness on those mediums is shocking.
Luigi though sniffing the back of Milan for a P4, for on-track P4. The gap from him to Golf Star is really the interesting figure. The gap is just over 9 seconds, but Luigi 3/10 off the back of him through turn 14, 15. Milan's got some ERS to defend with, but it's not going to be enough surely, as Luigi sits in the slipstream with DRS open.
Hello.
Here comes Luigi up the inside into turn 1. It's later on the brakes.
Is he going to make some contact?
He's going to get the DRS
he
for
the position.
Turn 2, turn 3. And away goes Luigi now, up into 4th. The gap 8.8. He's closed down to Golf Star, so it's a second a lap and that short burst of DRS to help defend the position back to Milan is going to really help him now as Luigi makes a play, gets purple sector 1, and Luigi can now march on after Golfstar for a potential podium. But to
so
paraphrase,
coincidence, a purple sector 1 in a purple car.
I think it might be more ironic, but to paraphrase, to finish the point I was going to say, Luigi, he's got to catch Golfstar, but to paraphrase the late great Murray Walker, to catch one thing, to pass is completely something else. But 8 seconds now the gap, so the second lap target that Luigi's got to find looks very doable on 6 lap fresher mediums. If he can make a large dent in it very shortly, that would make him very happy.
He is catching them about at least 3/10 a lap.
Well, he's already taken 3/10 out in about 3 corners, so Luigi looking mighty quick on that set of medium tyres, as the gap with 7 laps to go is just a touch over 7.5 seconds.
Either way, Luigi is going to end up leading the championship either way. Unless, actually, it might be off Westie. It's between off Westie and Luigi now, I think. But no, okay. Someone could have an incident, to be fair, but we haven't seen one safety car, or at least a virtual. We've seen yellow flags, but we haven't seen a virtual yet.
As it stands at the moment, Westie would be first in the championship. Then Luigi, then Milan, then Nockrey, maybe not Nockrey, and maybe not Milan, depending on how many points they score and whether they jump Sir.
Actually, Golfstar is gonna, for his first appearance, is gonna gain a few positions in that championship. That's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't count your eggs before they hatch yet, as that gap's down to 6.5 seconds, and Milan is just about sticking with Luigi here, outside of DRS range. But these two could really bother Golfstar in a fight for the podium, and this could go right to the end here. The win and second look pretty much sealed off. It looks like, barring any unforeseen circumstances, Westie is going to win the race. ProKaan should finish second. But the tightest battle on track is really going to be Golfstar, Luigi and Milan fighting out for P3. 5 laps to go at the end of this one. 6.5 seconds the gap, with over 5.5 laps to go. Who knows? This could be really close. And it's going to be in the middle sector as well, that we watch that time tumble, as Luigi on fresher, medium, softer tyres is going to have a much greater advantage here, as the gap now down to just over 6 seconds in just a couple of corners. Luigi looks mighty quick.
Yeah, as I said, as soon as Luigi gets on those mediums, he makes overtakes.
Just got to be careful though that he doesn't overwork his mediums too much. Yes, the second lap is what he's gaining, is what he's aiming to gain if he wants to get to the back of Golfstar, but he's got to do it that he has enough tyres to actually make a legitimate challenge on Golfstar at the end of the race. And right now, 5.5 seconds the gap. He's just about doing what he needs to get to the back of him, but I'm not sure whether he'll have enough tyres to do it at the end, as the rate of gain is slowly coming down. It was 1.1 seconds, it then was 1 second a lap, and now it was about 8.5 tenths that Luigi gained on that lap. So Luigi now, if he wants to get that podium, is properly fighting an uphill battle as he makes his way uphill toward turn 4. Then down toward the slalom section. Again, this is where Luigi has the advantage, this middle section of the track from about turn 4 to turn 13. The tight, twisty technical section plays into those fresher medium tyres.
If we have Monaco on the calendar, Luigi might be your man for that track. Tight, twisty turns might be Luigi.
Not even gonna try and reckon where Monaco would go. Monaco is. It's less about who's fast and more who's less likely to crash.
The most difficult corner on Monaco, what would you say?
Turn 1.
Sure.
Or Sandovat or Casino Square. Or to back. Or the swimming pool.
I think turn 10.
Quickly figure out which one turn 10 is you've got. Sandovat, the run up to Casino Square is 2, 3, 4. Casino Square's 5. The one off Casino Square is 6. You've then got the Lowe's hairpin's 8. Portier's 9 and 10. You've got the so the second part of Portier is what you're saying is the hardest part of Monaco.
Yeah.
The entrance to the tunnel.
Wait, what? I didn't realise there was that many corners in sector 1.
Yeah, because on the track map you've got Sandovat, and then is obviously turn 1, and then
I'm trying to think.
Most jinks up the hill to Casino Square count as a corner, I'm fairly sure. But anyway, the gap from Golf Star to Luigi down to 4 seconds.
Fourth to last
4
corner,
laps
right.
to go.
Fourth to last corner in Monaco. Fourth to last.
Okay,
corner.
going from reverse. Anthony Noakes, Rascast, swimming pool. So you're thinking to back.
Yeah.
The one just after the Nouvelle chicane.
Yes. The second chicane going into third to last corner.
You're saying the second chicane's the hardest?
Yeah,
No.
because it's got a bigger sausage curb, because if they take too much curb, they headed straight into the wall, you're fucked.
Yeah, but that's a reasonably simple. That chicane's much more like the final chicane.
Right, yeah,
Canada.
back to the race.
It's yeah. Anyway, that's a detour and a half. Got to say that Nockery's just beginning to gain a little bit on Milan for P5. Luigi not looking like he's going to do enough to make a challenge on Golf Star, unless it is a suicidal dive bomb up the inside into turn 14 on the last lap. And yeah, why not give it a go? But Luigi got a lot of work to do if he wants to get a podium. Westie driving away from
how much
ProKaan.
That gap closed. Only 2 laps to go. Is Luigi gonna get Golf Star with 3.3 seconds? It's doable.
It would be a fine. It would be a move up the final corner.
ST plays. ST
That's
plays.
that's a play to. That is ST plays playing the game to get the fastest lap of the race.
I was about to say. I think
That's what he's doing there.
I think he's going for a Valtteri Bottas.
The gap 3 seconds, 2 laps to go. Luigi's got a lot of work to do here, and neither driver has any ERS to speak of. So these
This is gonna look good. Going into the second to last lap. Luigi actually is quicker on the exit, so that's going to benefit him.
And we know he's quicker through this middle section that we're about to go through now. That gap down to 2.7 at 2.8 at the end of sector 1.
Because Golf Star takes the apex, he looks for them apexes.
Luigi not letting this course be over as he gets another half second through
Luigi
the downhill
is
slalom.
actually
That gap 2.4.
committed.
It's not gonna.
He's
it's
committed.
not gonna happen.
He's committed.
Turn 10.
It might. Wasting all the ERS he has. Like, oh my god, down to 2 seconds already. He might do it.
As Exotic makes a pit stop as well. So Exotic and Plays going for a little competition between their own for fastest lap, I believe.
Oh. Okay. To be fair, if Exotic had winged
as
down
Luigi
track
goes
quite a bit
purple
at
in
least.
Sector 2.
Yeah,
The gap down
that's,
to 1.9 as Plays gets nicely out of the way of Luigi and... Oh, does Plays give Luigi DRS down the straight?
Is it?
1.9 the gap. No, he doesn't. So
it was close
that
to the
really
DRS
is,
detection.
That
was
really
very
is
close
then...
to the DRS.
As we're on to the final lap now, Westie 9.1 seconds clear of ProKaan P2. This fight's pretty much over. Luigi's not going to get 2 seconds on the final lap.
It could happen though.
It would have to be a mistake from Golfstar to give Luigi a run.
Yeah, but Golfstar does take a lot of curb. He's on 15 lap old hards for God's sake.
As Westie now laps his teammate Exotic in P7, but going to be a decent points haul from... It's going to be a decent points haul for McLaren in the Constructors' Championship, and Luigi gets slightly loose on the exit of turn 7.
He's still 1.7
really not
behind.
going to help him
still,
out here.
Is it enough? Oh, actually, I noticed Golfstar actually slowed down the slightest just to make it close.
I don't think that's slowing down. I think that's potentially having a little bit of an issue as...
This is going to be very close going into the final corner.
But out of the final corner comes Westie. It's been a clinical race on the alternate strategy. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Hello, this is going to be very close.
Comes out of the final corner now. And up to the line from ProKaan.
Is wrote off.
P2 from McLaren. Exotic come across the line. Golfstar uses his last defence.
Luigi.
It's not close enough for Luigi into the final corner.
Oh wow.
Maybe with a couple more laps it would have been. As ST Plays goes for the fastest lap and gets it at 30.2. Golfstar holds on to the podium from Luigi P3. Milan's going to come home P5 and serve his penalty as Nokri comes home P6, I believe. But I want to see how those penalties play out. But there we are, folks. That's been the Bahrainian Grand Prix.
Yes, Luigi, for the driver of the day, and who won here. As
Westie
this was actually the debut race for season 1 of FSC. Or last season, sorry. This was last season's debut race.
But there we are, Westie the race winner, leading home from ProKaan P2 in the McLaren. Good points from McLaren, 2nd and 7th, bringing home, quick maths off the top of my head, a number of points in the Constructors, somewhere about 23 I believe.
We've had many pit stops this race.
There we are, there's a shot of the race time, 45 minutes 3 seconds, .979 total race time. Westie, after losing the lead on lap 1, able to go on the alternate strategy and take the lead back to win by just over 10 seconds from ProKaan. Golfstar with that controversial move to spin Milan round and take P3. Luigi on the other driver to commit the alternate strategy comes home P4 with a good second stint. Milan P5 after that contact with Golfstar. Nokri P6 making progress up from P8. Exotic in the second McLaren P7. He had a horrible couple of laps that drops him way down the order. Plays rounds off our finishers P8. He got the fastest lap with 30.2 for the extra point.